By a perfect day for a family outing.
Shingles doesn't care, but Shingrix protects. Only Shingrix is proven over 90% effective. Shingrix is a vaccine used to prevent shingles in adults 50 years and older. Shingrix does not protect everyone and is not for those with severe allergic reactions to its ingredients or to a previous dose. An increased risk of Guillain-Barré syndrome was observed after getting Shingrix. Fainting can also happen. The most common side effects are pain, redness, and swelling at the injection site, muscle pain, tiredness, headache, shivering, fever, and upset stomach. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Shingrix today.
Tomorrow on ET, we are in for a direct hit. Not talking about tropical storms, but the stars of Twisters. Daisy Edgar-Jones and Anthony Ramos will join us here at Baja Mar.
And also, don't forget to check out Beat Shazam on Fox on Tuesdays.
Yes.
Thank you for being here, Corinne.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored.
We have a little surprise for you.
Okay.
Happening now.
The doors are open, but lips are sealed after the arrest of the owner of this martial arts studio. I'll tell you why one parent says even in the midst of this child sex abuse case, he's still bringing his children here.
A few isolated pop-up showers to talk about. We'll take a look at authority radar and see how long we can avoid triple digits in just a bit.
And your wallet could be breathing a big sigh of relief. We have been tracking the price of the same items at the grocery store for the last 3.5 years. What we found at the register next. The news at 5 starts right now. At first at 5, the doors of a local martial arts school remain open after the arrest of its owner.
The owner stands accused of sexually assaulting a 14-year-old girl. But as Katrina Weber shows us, the parents of the other students, meanwhile, are keeping their mouths closed.
Video of 40-year-old Joseph Rene Caballero in handcuffs this past weekend does not reflect his reality today. Records show he is out on bond, but the charges against him remain. In a news conference yesterday, Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar said the owner of the Exception Squad Jiu-Jitsu studio took advantage of a 14-year-old student, sexually assaulting her after grooming her with love letters.
It appeared that the notes were from like an anonymous secret admirer or things of that nature, trying to establish a relationship with the young lady.
Salazar says although this had been going on as far back as last fall, the girl only spoke up recently. Caballero now is ordered to stay away from all children except his own. Employees, meanwhile, are keeping his business near Culebra and Ingram Roads going, opening the doors this morning for a summer program. The few parents who did show up here today refused to talk to us on camera. Now, one man did tell us that despite what happened, he has no plans to pull his daughter from their lessons here. He says this is one of the best studios in town.
It's hard to trust nowadays.
Melissa Caranjera had planned to send her sons to the school. Now she's not so sure.
That hurts me. Deep inside, it hurts me more than anything because, even though it's not my daughter, that affects me as a parent.
Sheriff's investigators worry there could be other children who have been affected by Caballero. They're encouraging parents of his students to talk to their children and report anything unusual. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Starting today, Stage 3 water rules are now in effect. Those who are going to be impacted the most are those who are considered to be using a heavy amount of water. Here's how it's going to break down beginning after July 6th under the new Stage 3 rules. Once residential customers' water usage goes past or over 20,000 gallons in one billing cycle, they're going to be charged an extra $10.37 for every extra 1,000 gallons of water they use. Commercial customers who are considered heavy users will also be hit with that surcharge. Those surcharges will appear on your bill, and they will take the place of citations that used to be handed out for the same problems. Well, now, just this last week, the new watering rules for all stages were approved by City Council. Residential and commercial customers who use an irrigation system must now water between 5 a.m. and 10 a.m. in the mornings and between 9 p.m. until midnight in the evenings. The days you can water is still based on the last digit of your home address, and you can still water anytime on any day if you're using a handheld hose. To read and go over all these new watering rules, you can head over to KSAT.com. Just look for this article.
Yeah, watering by hand, unlimited. You can do that anytime, any day. That's my preferred method. That's just my opinion. The aquifer down 1.2 feet today. We're nearly 30 feet below average. for this time of year. So the aquifer is way down, stage 3 watering restrictions. We have our drought monitor, and this will be updated on Thursday, and we could actually have some modifications to it from the recent rainfall that we had last week. But clearly a good chunk of our area considered in deep drought. Severe and extreme drought, especially locally and westward. We have a few pop-up showers, especially along the coastal plain. Typical this time of day, this time of year. Isolated little quick pop-up splash and dash from Schulenburg to parts of Lavaca County and eastward, and a little bit down in DeWitt County and Victoria counties. This will be the case pretty much every afternoon going forward this week. By 10 o'clock, we're at 87 degrees, midnight 84. We're going to talk about the tropics and a bit of African dust when we could get our first dose of that in just a bit.
Thank you, Adam. Bexar County Sheriff's deputies say a man didn't let being handcuffed stop his escape from the Bexar County Courthouse today. They say 27-year-old Pedro Andres Escamilla was at the courthouse for a hearing for possession and criminal trespassing charges. It's unclear exactly how he was able to get away from law enforcement, but we're told he was last seen running away from the courthouse. We're also told he was heading south along the Riverwalk, handcuffs and all. SAPD's helicopter-assisted officers, BCOSO deputies were also searching for Escamilla. So far, he remains on the run. They say he was wearing a khaki shirt and khaki pants, and he may have taken his shirt off. If you know where he is, call the sheriff's office. That number 210-335-6000.
Meantime, police in New Braunfels involved in a search of their own. Officers there looking for a man they say slashed another man with a machete-like weapon after getting into it with another driver on the road. It's a road rage incident that happened yesterday. Officers called out to the intersection of North Market Avenue and East San Antonio Street. That's where they found a man who had been stabbed or slashed by a machete. Police say the two men stopped on the road. They got into a fight behind the wheel. Then they got out of their vehicles where the assault happened. Police say the suspect used that machete-like weapon to cut the victim. He was taken to the hospital and is expected to recover. Meantime, the suspect, described as an older man with gray hair, said to be driving a light-colored four-door truck. Anyone with information can call the New Braunfels Police Department at 830-221-4100. In local business news, another Jim's restaurant closing its doors. This time, it's the restaurant at the corner of San Pedro and Hildebrand. That location locked the doors after the lunch crowd at 2 o'clock this afternoon. It comes 54 years after this Jim's opened its doors. The closing announced on the Jim's Facebook page. It is the second one to close in 3 months. The other location of Jim's, located at Broadway near Brackenridge Park, shut down 3 months ago. The family company that owns Jim's says that employees working at the San Pedro location will be offered jobs at a different Jim's restaurant right here in the city.
Other news making headlines today, the U.S. Surgeon General declaring today gun violence is an urgent public health crisis. Dr. Vivek Murthy is actually demanding more action to stop firearm violence. This is the first time a publication from the Office of the Surgeon General focused on gun violence. He says it has profound consequences for survivors, communities, and mental health. According to provisional data, more than 48,000 people in the U.S. died in 2022 alone from firearm-related injuries. That data also says that mass shootings make up about 1% of gun deaths. The Surgeon General notes that number is rising. The Surgeon General's advisory says fears about gun violence particularly common among children who worry they will experience an incident at school. The Surgeon General calling for more gun laws, including requirements for safe and secure firearm storage, a ban on assault weapons, and universal background checks. The destructive power of Mother Nature on display in the Midwest after torrential rains have produced massive flooding. But water isn't the only concern weather-wise.
It's true. Flooding and extreme heat posing a dual threat to the Midwest, where there are at least 2 confirmed weather-related deaths in Iowa and South Dakota.
Meantime, millions of Americans continue to bake under triple-digit temperatures. ABC's Alexis Christoforous has details.
All eyes on the Rapidan Dam in southern Minnesota after record-breaking floods. The stunning pictures showing floodwaters carving a new channel around the century-old structure. ABC's Melissa Adon is there.
Officials warning that a collapse is imminent, and you can see why. You see that raging floodwater threatening homes like the one right there you see behind me.
Storms dumping nearly 18 inches of rain on Blue River County. Some buildings barely hanging on.
This is the result of the debris that came down the river overnight, coupled with the extremely high flows.
Officials warning families along the Blue Earth River near Mankato, Minnesota, to be ready to evacuate.
And now the threat of our house, my family house, where I grew up, is threatened by the force of Mother Nature, the water, and you're not stopping Mother Nature.
Mother Nature also taking aim at a railroad bridge connecting Iowa and South Dakota, causing it to partially collapse. Overnight, President Biden declaring a major disaster in Iowa, releasing federal funds for flood cleanup and recovery efforts. Meantime, rising water levels on the Missouri River forcing officials there to shut down parts of Interstates 29 and 680. Major flooding expected along parts of the Mississippi River. While in western Michigan, severe storms overnight knocking out power for more than 100,000 customers. Authorities urging people to stay out of Lake Michigan because of dangerous waves and currents. Several states are dealing with the flooding disaster and the brutal heat wave at the same time. Dangerously hot temperatures are expected on the West Coast to the Midwest for several more days. Alexis Christoforous, ABC News, New York.
And here is something you don't see too often in San Antonio. I-10 westbound moving along just fine. Imagine that. This is I-10 at Callahan. Normally we're showing you trouble spots. This time we're showing you the traffic's actually moving great.
Yeah.
All right, check this out. It was supposed to be a country western bingo party with Johnny Cash. An impersonator of Johnny Cash. It ended up being a surprise retirement party at Blessed Angels Community Center. Hundreds of Northeast Siders crowning me officially retired in 2024. I was also given a crown, flowers, presents, and I was even serenaded by Johnny Cash himself, although he is singing an Elvis song. Really blown away by all of the love and affection from these guys. They offered such great energy. The only thing better than being serenaded by a Johnny Cash impersonator with an Elvis song is Steve Spriester.
Oh, there you go.
Doing karaoke.
I was going to say that's a mix between Elvis and Johnny Cash.
He really morphs it. Yeah.
He's kind of Cashvis.
Cashvis. Okay, I like it. He would like that too. He's
well deserved. I like that. Hopefully a week
they
long.
They even gave me a crown.
I know, week-long celebrations. Love it. Coming up next, wallets still being hit hard at the grocery store. Meat and poultry along with pantry staples causing a lot of double takes. But are prices better or worse than this time last year? 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz, comparing prices of a cart of groceries from back then to now.
I'm Myra Arthur with a look at what we're working on for the news at 6 o'clock today. A San Antonio man on trial after being involved in a police shootout in 2022. He fired, but his attorneys say officers shot back more than 100 times. Was it excessive force? You'll see these videos that were shown to the jury today. Plus, imagine free surgery. A handful of children from around the world and right here in San Antonio are getting just that. It's what they need, but they can't afford. We'll tell you all about this program. And today is the day we're taking a look back at the incredible career of an incredible colleague, Jessie Degollado. Join us as we go down memory lane, and Jessie joins me and Steve to talk about her legacy and what comes next. That and more today on the news at 6.
What a special goodbye that's going to be. It's a hard week for a lot of us here at KSAT. I want to tell you about some breaking news going on right now at St. Philip's College. There is a lockdown there for some reason.
That's right. We just got word. This is at St. Philip's College. This is off of East Commerce on the east side at 1801 Martin Luther King Drive. We don't have very much information. We just have been told that the website has a lockdown notice on it. And so if you are there and you have information, we'd love to hear what you're seeing. Meantime, we'll keep an eye on it. We have a crew headed that way.
Meanwhile, are we finally seeing relief at the grocery store checkout? For the past 3.5 years, 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz has tracked the prices of the same grocery items.
Time for an update, and this one is slightly a bit more palatable after years of soaring food prices.
All right, it's going to be $48.10.
Checking out is still adding up.
Everything has gone up. There's nothing that is inexpensive anymore.
When you're paying, $6.99 a pound for ground beef, that's a lot.
But it's not just the beef for your burgers.
Like on condiments, because I have a 3-year-old, so got ketchup going on here, and it's also like $4 on ketchup, and it's just like a lot.
She's not wrong. We crunched the numbers on the same 47 groceries for curbside pickup and found the same cart that cost $198 at the end of 2020 now costs nearly $266, 34% more.
But hold on, there is relief at the register. Compared to 1 year ago, our total is still up, but only by about 2.5%. Our receipt shows foodflation has slowed.
Have you noticed the price of anything coming down yet?
No. No.
We did. Since last June, our bread costs dropped 11%. Soaring mayonnaise prices turned around, down 9%, and potatoes down 33%. Food economists say prices should keep easing up. Good news after inflation's big bite. Take a look at these numbers. Since we first started tracking prices 3.5 years ago, breakfast is costing more. Oatmeal up 57%, eggs 8%. Bacon is up 13%, OJ will squeeze you an extra 36%, and your morning coffee, it's up 46%. And a couple of stunners. Coca-Cola is up 75% since 2020, and olive oil up a whopping 85%. One thing is cheaper than 3 years ago, so kids, eat your spinach. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
I love that. Stock up on spinach.
Oh my goodness, I'm going to have to hoard my olive oil at those points.
Yeah. And Coca-Cola?
That's wild.
Up more than 74%. That's
We need to find out why.
Yeah.
Olive oil and spinach, I think it's a Popeye conspiracy going on over here.
Well, spinach is down, olive oil's up. So,
right?
Yeah,
Popeye is watching this closely.
Uh-huh. All right. For those of you too young to know what we're talking about, that was a cartoon back in the day, and olive oil was a character.
Old school. Very old school.
All right, let's get right to our, very skibbity. Let's get right to our headlines. See, I'm hip too. Rain, stray coastal showers daily, kind of like what I showed you earlier, not hitting San Antonio. Heat index feeling like it's 104 to 108 in the days ahead. So the humidity, of course, playing a role in what we have coming. And African dust, I want to get into that. It's going to make its first appearance by late Friday and on into Saturday. So looking at the dust right now, it's out in the Atlantic, moving its way into the Caribbean. Of course, many of the islands seeing the very thick dust overhead. We don't often see it as thick as they do, of course, out in the middle of the ocean, in the Atlantic and the Caribbean. But notice by later this week, we'll start to see some concentrations of dust move into the Gulf of Mexico. And then shortly thereafter, by late Friday into early Saturday, move into Texas and give us a little extra haze in our sky. I don't think you'll notice anything more than that extra haze and some more vibrant sunrises and sunsets. That's about it by late Friday and especially into the upcoming weekend. It's that time of year when we get the Saharan air layer from Africa. The dust gets carried all the way across the Atlantic here into Texas. Here's our next area of disturbed weather that we're watching. Just moved into the Caribbean, near the Leeward and Windward Islands there. This is moving westward, and there's the off chance of this developing into the next tropical system somewhere in the Caribbean or southern Gulf of Mexico. As it stands right now, there are no indications that that could give us any much needed rainfall or moisture. Heat high, upper level high, still centered over western Texas. It's going to meander around a bit in the days ahead and shift eastward a little bit, which actually helps open the door for some of that dust due to the steering flow in the atmosphere. The clockwise circulation around that upper high, it'll help pull some of that dust in by this weekend and by this weekend basically, and even a little bit early next week. Our rain chances though, only at 10%, unfortunately, and that's basically to account for the daily isolated coastal showers that have been popping up, which can get as close as Hallettsville, Cuero, Karnes City sometimes. 97, that was our high today. The average 93 record 103. But really, not as bad as folks off to the north of us. Denver, 100. St. Louis, 102. Omaha, the exact same as us at 97 today. Right now, Leon Springs at 91, 102 in Del Rio, 94 in Seguin, and New Braunfels at 95 degrees. But it's the humidity as well. It makes it feel like it's closer to 105, and even a few heat indices up to about 107, 108. Tomorrow's going to be very similar. Humid, partly cloudy, 78 in the morning, 96 by the afternoon. Along the Rio Grande, right at triple digits. Del Rio, 102. Carrizo Springs at 100 degrees. So more of the same with the heat. As we go into the weekend, we're basically mid-90s all the way through the next 7 days. Still avoiding 100, though.
Thank you, Adam.
All right, nobody really knows what the Spurs are going to do. Let's go live to Brooklyn right now with our Larry Ramirez as we get ready for the draft. Larry.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, last year we knew exactly what the Spurs were going to do in the NBA draft. This year, it is definitely much more of a mystery coming up. And because of that, an ESPN NBA draft analyst says the Spurs are the team to look for in the first round. And speaking of the Spurs, today is a key date in Spurs championship history coming up. That's Tim Duncan with Antonio Daniels in 1999, celebrating the Spurs' first NBA championship in big board sports. And let's hope we are celebrating another Spurs championship very soon. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome live to Brooklyn, New York, side of the 2024 NBA Draft. The first round will go down tomorrow night at the Barclays Center, which is located right behind me. Of course, we were here last year for the draft when the Spurs selected Victor Wembanyama with the overall #1 selection. They never tipped their hand, but we all knew it was coming. And since then, Wemby has been nothing but a joy to watch and talk to during his media sessions. The Spurs have picks 4 and 8 in the first round, and with that comes a lot of different scenarios of what to do to build around Wemby. Mary Rominger spoke with ESPN draft analyst Jeremy Wu, who says the Spurs are the team to watch in the first round.
Yeah, I do think they're a team that kind of holds the keys sort of to how the lottery is going to go. Whether they decide to make moves, what direction they go. All the teams picking behind them right now are trying to figure out what San Antonio is doing. I also think the Spurs have become a place where a lot of players would like to play. Getting to play with a guy like Wembanyama, who is a generational player who makes other guys better. He's easy to play with in a lot of different ways. I think players and agents, have interest in coming to San Antonio right now to play with him.
You know what? Draft Wemby and they will come, right? So, all right, back on this day in 1999, the Spurs beat the Knicks for their first NBA championship, putting the league on notice that the Spurs were a team to be reckoned with. And here are some of those awesome scenes from the KSAT 12 Sports archives of that glorious time on the Riverwalk Parade to follow days later after the championships. The Spurs won it all on June 25th, 1999, beating the Knicks 78-77 in Game 5 to win the series 4-1. And that kicked off one big party with Spurs fans celebrating all around the Alamo City. If you were here in San Antonio, you will never forget the party that ensued. It was awesome, right? We have more celebrating the Spurs 1999 NBA championship at KSAT.com. We'll be right back after the break.